Hello, welcome to Stories Parkinson Story, episode 9. I just posted episode 8 yesterday after a long delay. Hopefully this will get posted much sooner. I hope I can finish this. We're under a severe thunderstorm warning right now. So we've got the winds picked up and the weather's looking a little testy. Got thunderstorms coming in from the west, but nonetheless, it's been a busy month as usual, and my phone keeps blowing up and everything around here with warnings. Update expires in 55 minutes. Well, I guess that's more urgent. At any rate, it doesn't look too bad. It's not raining yet, so I'll just keep talking. It's been a busy month. I'm continuing my exercise program at 413 Fitness. And my personal trainer, Mike, every Tuesday and Thursday. 413 is Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Except I'm on a pause right now. I'll talk about that in a little bit. Been taking advantage of the Parkinson's Disease Alliance video presentations that they have every day, basically, on some topic by Zoom. So, watched one on off times, which fortunately I don't suffer from right now, but that doesn't mean it couldn't happen sometime in the future. Off times really refer to times when your dopamine level drops off because your medication doesn't last. I'm on a continuous release version of carbidopa levodopa, which is the dopamine replacement, and mine seems to be fairly level all day long. So I don't go through ups and downs, which some people do experience. And after years and years of taking carbidopa levodopa, sometimes people experience that it doesn't work so well, and they go to different medications that are more instantaneous replacements for dopamine. Pardon me. Here's the persistent problem with the voice with people with Parkinson's and thick saliva, which as you clear in your throat frequently. Sorry about that. So just for information, we watched that. We had grab bars installed in the shower to help prevent falls, which is a big issue with elderly people, especially if you got something like Parkinson, which causes balance issues. And I've also got peripheral neuropathy, which can contribute to balance issues too. So we're just taking steps to make things safe, and it's not a bad idea for either one of us. We had to have a Safe Light come over and fix a rock hit in our windshield on our car. Naturally, we were driving home from 413 Fitness one morning, and all of a sudden, bam, sounded like a gun went off. And rock bouncing from some truck somewhere. Fortunately, not so bad that it couldn't be filled, but it is still a little visible. But they always are. On the, if you notice me looking away, I'm looking at a script. On the 4th of April, I had a 4-month appointment with my physician's assistants in my neurology movement disorder specialist, Dr. Swallow's office. She reviewed everything, medications, had me do some things, walk up and down the hall to see how I was walking. Basically, I'm stable. All my work with exercise, with all the 5 days a week of exercise has really helped. And I can tell, if I don't go, I can really tell that it impacts me. I feel much better when I go, almost if I could go every 7 days, but they say that's too much. So at any rate, I'm doing well. And my next appointment, they extended out to October, which I'll be actually seeing Dr. Swallow. We see him once a year, and the other 2 times a year we see our physician's assistants. And of course, they're available if we have any issues in the meantime. Ainsley Landon and Larissa came for a quick visit on Easter weekend. It was nice to see them. It's funny, now that they live close, we see them less than we did when we were driving back and forth to Minnesota. Of course, when we went to Minnesota, we stayed for 2 weeks, you know. So now it's much easier. But that's okay. We get to talk to them and we know they're close by. On the day after Easter, Easter Monday, there was a small memorial service in the home of one of our neighbors for Tony, my neighbor who died on the 21st of March. It was just a small memorial in a prayer group that he was part of and participated in, and they were invited a few other people. I made a video of the ceremony because one of his daughters couldn't be here. She was here when he was in the final stages of his life and was with him then, but couldn't come back. Her job just doesn't allow for that much time off. So I made a video and made it available to the whole family. Also merged in some stuff that I had done as a tribute to him, photographs I'd taken of Tony and Karen over the years. And so I was able to lay that in over the reading of his obituary by his son. He's a really impressive guy, valedictorian of his high school appointment to the United States Military Academy at West Point, where he was graduated 35th in his class of 570 something. Was in the Army for 20 years as a in combat arms. During that time, he got a master's degree at Duke, was a Cambridge Fellow, and got a PhD from University of Texas, whereupon he went to West Point to teach for 20 years. So he spent 40 years in the military. There we go. Well, I had a little interruption there. Lauren came home early from her mahjong on Friday afternoon because we're under severe thunderstorm warning now, not a watch. And it's looking bad outside. So anyway, I was talking about Tony's memorial service. It was nice. It was an hour and a half, basically. They watched a video that was made 20 years ago when he retired from the Army, pictures of his family put together. There we go, update, more severe thunderstorm warning business. Video they did 20 years ago when he retired from the Army. Bunch of pictures of him in the Army and then the family pictures and that sort of thing. So they watched that and commented on it. It's kind of funny to watch them comment and their comments about him and how some of the things he would say. So I'm sure good memories for them. And then read his obituary, and one of his classmates from West Point lives here, his friend, got up and talked about Tony's time in the Army and his time at West Point, and he was there representing his class of 1964 at West Point. And then, we kind of wrapped it up, but it ended up being over an hour's worth of video, so I edited that, put it all together, and got it off to his daughter and to the rest of the family. Hopefully they'll enjoy that. That was a lot of work, but I enjoy doing that sort of thing. And it also keeps my brain working, which is important too. Next day we had to take our Escalade into the service department at the dealer because we've had a rattle somewhere in the passenger compartment, front seat passenger compartment area. We can't tell exactly where it is. I mean, we've tried everything. It sounds like something loose. If you had a bottle of water sitting in a cup holder, it sounds like one of those rattling around, but we've taken everything out of the car, so there's nothing loose. Still makes the noise. Took it down there, got a loaner car because they don't have very many of them. It took a long time to get the appointment. Had to go back the next week because they wanted to be sure that they were hearing the same rattle we were hearing. They heard about 3 of them, so we drove it around, pointed out what we heard. They pointed out what they heard they were going to work on. Biggest thing that we had noticed was a rattle that they immediately identified as the heat shield on the bottom of the car. And it expires in 40 minutes. Okay, so at any rate, we identified a major rattle, which they did fix. But when we picked it up this last week, that's gone. But the rattle in the dashboard area is worse. So they apparently don't have the ability to have two people go ride, somebody drive and somebody listen. So anyway, it's another appointment now, way out in June. After that, next week I had an appointment with, the next day I had an appointment with an ENT in Georgetown. I've had a persistent nosebleed problem on the left side of my nose. Just for no reason at all of a sudden it'll start bleeding. Then I'll go months without it doing it. And then most recently it was happening every week or two. I'd have a nosebleed. So, something's not right. And the problem had been, I've been having these things over the years, and you call to get an appointment, and it takes 2 months to get an appointment. Well, by the time you get to see the doctor, it's not bothering you. They look and they don't see anything, So at least this is close to when something happened. And he's right here. So got to see Dr. Franklin first time, Georgetown ENT. He did an endoscope, saw an area of dilated blood vessels just inside my left nose, left nostril. Nice thing was Lauren, he called Lauren around to look at the screen up above my head so she could see. She saw it. Then he cauterized the area. Then he called her over to look again. She saw the cauterized area. So now I'm in this 2-week period of first using Afrin, now using saline solution spray. Don't blow your nose. And I can tell this thing is developed into a huge scabbed area in my nose. Great conversation, isn't it? But it's aggravating. It makes me I really want to blow my nose because there's something blocking my nose and I can't. So I see him next week on Thursday next week. So hopefully we'll have something done by then. It'll be gone. And I hope I don't need any more, but it'd be nice not to have to worry about getting a nosebleed. So let's see, I see him on May the 4th. Then on April the 27th, Lauren and I watched another Zoom presentation by the PD Alliance titled Mind Over Bladder and Unbind the Bowel. Another good topic for conversation. But that really relates to Parkinson's because Parkinson's causes things to slow down, things to not work the way they're supposed to. The lack of dopamine is what the issue is. I already have a problem with constipation. Now it makes it worse. She was watching more for the bladder part because of her history with bladder cancer and bladder infections. But it was interesting and informative. That's all part of the Be Educated business with Parkinson's, so we're doing that. Then yesterday we had the Georgetown Area Parkinson Support Group, or GAPS, meeting, our monthly meeting. I'd volunteered last month to help because the lady who runs that thing is like the Energizer Bunny. Her husband has Parkinson's, has had for 25 years. She runs this support group, and I mean, it's fantastic. All the information, all the activity, all the things she does. So I volunteered to help. She asked me to take over managing the Zoom because it's a hybrid meeting. There are a bunch of people come in person and a bunch of people who are homebound are not able to come, and they can watch it on Zoom. So we always have a Zoom presentation going on at the same time. So I'm now the guy who sets up Zoom and monitors everything. I record the session, stop the recording at the end of the meeting. Then it downloads the recording into an MP4 file, and then I'll post that to our YouTube channel for GAPS. So I've got the first half of that done, working on the second half. So that's been just a perfectly busy month. Next time I want to talk about some symptoms, small symptom stuff that occurs to me, and I don't think I've covered a lot. That may or may not be Parkinson's related, they may be, they may not be. But there are things that may be not symptoms, they may be things that are impacted by Parkinson's. At any rate, just an idea for next time. So that's it for now. Thanks for watching, and tune in next for episode 10. So today is April the 28th, Friday. And hopefully we'll get the next episode sooner than a month from now. Till next time, bye.